Hello Internet and welcome back to our Sky Island playthrough. In the last episode we spent the majority of the video just trying to run down some of the enemies that have been plaguing us. Our goal was to get into this steel mill here, but really all we wanted to do was fight this militia zombie or feral, whatever the zombie was. It's one of those loot pinatas. We got an AR-15 and some ammunition from it, as well as a handgun that we found pretty valuable because it came with extra magazines as well. So pretty much we just ended up sifting through all of those bodies, and that's really where we left off the episode, so let's get back into it. Yeah, this is the screen that I booted up to. It's a little bit of a mess. We have some carcasses, some blood, some hundreds of tiles of gasoline, which does gasoline just explode? I forget how this works. Let's save scum. I just loaded the game. Let's start a fire on a gasoline tile, see what happens. Why not? Just for the chaos, right? Just for the content. Activate lighter. Please don't hurt me. Run away. And I'm curious if it... Oh, that's a new sprite. I have not seen this before. Hello. It doesn't update when I am looking at it, apparently. And I can't really get close if it's going to explode, but there you can see the sprite is moving. I really do like that we have infrastructure for animated sprites. That's something we got, I don't know, a couple years ago now. I think it started with like the acid pools being animated, but yeah, it's a new fire sprite. I've never seen that before. I like that. All right, so let's see if this spreads and if it leads to like literally thousands of explosions. But for now, we're going to continue sifting through these carcasses here. We're not really looking for anything in particular. Oh, literally as soon as we boot it up, I find something that I've been working on. So actually I got a ton of errors when I first started up the game, and that's because I've been working on stuff that is in a mod file that's not in the core game. But here on the very first carcass we can see one of the things that basically I've been working on, and it's different patterned underwear. Someone left an issue on GitHub saying, hey, you know, why do we only have like two kinds of underwear? We have like regular boxers and we have flag, like American flag boxers, and that's it. So I thought, well, I could go in and make these variable, so we might as well look at this. I don't know, do people care about this? Yes, disable achievements. So let's look at, I mean, I did boxer briefs and boxers. Currently they have a lot of overlap. I basically just copy and pasted. I don't know, do people care about this in the Let's Play video? But let's have a look. So the colored version is just a solid color that is randomized. So here's silver, black, lime colored, red color boxer briefs. This is a work in progress, by the way, so if you see any like grammar issues or spelling issues, that'll be picked up later. Then at a very low chance we have the variable ones. This is part of the mod file. You'll see here it just prints day. That's because that particular snippet section is in the mod file, which is not currently loaded by the game. So basically this just prints a day of the week. So it'll say printed across the bottom in bubble letters is the word Friday, Tuesday, etc. It's kind of a joke one. Then we have one with colored hearts as well, so just the same color snippets but with hearts. Then we have the homemade version. These are just, they don't only exist if you craft them, because obviously you can't craft, you're not going to be crafting a pair of heart boxer briefs. You would just be crafting a basic homemade version. And then for the shorts, I actually also have added the cartoon characters that I talked about in a previous episode where we talked about the blanket snippets that I was working on. So it randomizes what cartoon character is on the underwear. Anything else? Yeah, money. I added one that's just $100 bills. I don't know why that's duplicated. That's weird. Anyway, kind of funny we saw that on the very first zombie that we picked up here, especially because that means the loot was previously generated, so it's odd that it updated the variant upon me loading the game, because that shouldn't be the case, right? It should just have stayed the regular version. It doesn't matter. Man, my stomach's gurgly today. We'll take the multi-tool. We don't really need more batteries at the moment. Okay, stomach, calm down. So we'll take that. You know, in the last episode we took apart something for like cloth sheets. I don't even know if we picked them up. We did. So I'm not sure if we really want to be doing more of that. All this filthy clothing, of course, is going to produce filthy ones. We don't have water back at base currently to clean these up. Thankfully today my neighbors actually went on camping trips, so they're away from home, so I don't have to listen to their kids screaming or the hillbilly drunk guy blasting country music or whatever. So we'll take the methamphetamine, we'll take the t-shirt again just for cotton patches and things. I know I can take those apart, and yeah, we don't need anything else. Still no explosions from the gasoline on fire. Used to be they would explode instantly. It's not very realistic for it to do that, but that's how it was set up previously. I like that it says there's 2 drugs in this, but one of them is just chewing gum, which is amusing. I guess we'll take a crack pipe. Why not? And we'll take the cigarettes. Man, this is someone who really enjoyed smoking. Combat boots. Do you still give Kevlar? We might want to take these for... I mean, we see so many vests now. We could just take apart the vests for Kevlar, I guess. But we'll take the boots for now. Long underwear bottom. Why not? I think those can be disassembled. Or did we see that they can't? Anyway, we'll take nothing from this corpse. Actually, let's not just constantly talk about what we're going to take. Let's have a look at this flyer. Public warning from the federal government. Its brief message, repeated in several languages, reads, "The President of the United States," actually, do you put a double space after a colon in that context? I guess you do. "Has declared unilateral martial law to be in effect for the 48 contiguous states in response to the ongoing national crisis. Continue to shelter in place until evacuated to an appropriate emergency management camp by authorized military personnel. A 24-hour curfew has been established. This curfew will remain in effect until further notice. Stay indoors. Violators will be shot on sight." Pretty aggressive to just be shooting people on sight, but I guess that's what happens in a zombie apocalypse. What are you going to do? Can you take apart this dress? I imagine it has quite a lot of cotton value to it. Disassembly gives cotton sheets and 30 thread. Takes 10 minutes. We are a little time crunched at this point. We have about 30 minutes left, but it's actually less than 30 minutes left, and we would like to explore the steel mill if we're able, just a little bit, to see if we could gather, something of value. But so we're not going to do this now, but we will take the sundress. It's just a very voluminous garment, so I don't know how much we'll actually, if we end up keeping that or not. Yeah, neighbor's on vacation, I guess. Heard my family talking to him yesterday. They said something like they asked, like, "Hey, are you taking your dogs with you?" And he's like, "No, we're going to leave them with the mother," which I think is like his ex-wife or something, or I don't know whose mother he meant. But and then he was like, "Yeah, no, they'll just bark at everyone constantly if we take them on the trip. It'll ruin everyone's trip." And I'm like, "Yeah, your dog has ruined my day-to-day, but sure, be considerate of the campers, I guess." And he said he's taken like 9 kids with him. I think their family is like 5 or 6 kids, which I think to a lot of people is a lot of children. But like, I grew up in a house of, I have 4 brothers and sisters from my mom's side, or half brothers and sisters from my mom's side. We don't say half brothers and sisters in my family. They're just my siblings, and that's that. But we have about half from my mom's side is like 4 kids, 2 brothers, 2 sisters. And then on my dad's side, I have 2 brothers as well. So I actually have 6 siblings. So to me, that's like a pretty standard family. But I guess they're taking like their kids plus a bunch of other like family is going on a camping trip. Excuse me. And then they had their truck loaded up yesterday. I went to work at like, I go to work at like 2 in the morning, or like, I guess around 1 a.m. And when I left, I saw their truck was loaded with every bike like that they own. Apparently it was all just stacked on top of each other, tied down to the back of this pickup truck. It looked very amusing. So let's drop our backpack if we're going to get into a fight here. I see no reason why we can't melee you. Even though we're going to, like there's no terrain here to really benefit us, I guess we could lure them onto the crates. Actually, are crates mountable? Let's have a look here. Can you even climb on a crate? Smashable, flat, mountable, flammable. I don't see a move cost penalty, so I'm not sure what to make of that. Maybe you can't. We'll just fight you in the open and we'll sprint to maintain distance, I think is the way to do this. No, don't walk. We want to run here. We'll just back off, because it's just one of them. Like, realistically, when you're facing one basic zombie, you should almost never take damage. Wow, 59 damage on a critical. That's pretty good. Let's go back to walking, pulp the corpse, see what we got. Another wallet. Again, I don't know what we need from wallets at this point, but I guess it's something. We probably need something. And you'll see I haven't touched the lady undergarments. Currently, I would like to do the same thing for like tights. Whenever I see people wearing tights in real life, it's usually like, obviously, I guess the majority of the time you see tights, it's like on a dancer at a show or something, like on TV or whatever. But when I see people like in the store wearing tights, it's usually like leopard print or something like that. So I guess they could get variants as well. But I want to do bras and lady underwear, like the more feminine style underwear at some point. In addition to the boxers, I just thought I would start with the boxers. Then we have a photograph here. I believe this is a wallet photo. Coated in mountaineering gear and grayish-white alpine clothes, a bearded, appropriately mountainous man takes up most of this photo with boots firmly planted upon a craggy ridge. With the breathtaking view of a mountainside clad in winter's last vestiges resolving into the budding green landscape of what looks suspiciously like Switzerland blooming beyond. This is such a complex combined sentence, it's too long. Like Switzerland blooming behind the climber, his paw-like hands are securely closed about the legs of a young boy sitting upon his shoulders. Both child and hiker alike are flashing a pair of thumbs up towards the camera. That's cute, I like that. That's one of the more expansive, descriptive ones that I've seen. I actually just expanded pictures. Did we talk about that in a previous episode? Sorry, I know a lot of people probably don't care about this, but I've been updating pictures, so it just will randomly print a ton of different stuff. So I'll just read one and then we'll leave it. It's a photo in a simple frame. It features a man with curly black hair holding a bottle of ale as though toasting to the camera. So very basic, but everything there is randomized. So like it could have been a man or a woman, could have been a simple or complex frame, could have been curly, frizzy, straight hair, could have been black, brown, yellow hair, whatever. Holding a bottle of ale, that could have been randomized, could have been a bottle of whiskey, could have been a bottle of beer, etc. So just, adding a lot of that randomization has been a lot of fun. I've been really enjoying adding those snippets. All right, let's grab this. Why did it say AR-15? I thought we were wearing the AR. Although if that were the case, I should remember to drop that. I guess we shoved that in our hiking backpack, which is pretty impressive. I didn't know you could really fit that. All right, so let's pop some crates. We should have a hammer on us to do this. Oh, nothing? They're empty crates. Well, I guess that makes sense. It's an unsecured door, so, you don't want people hopping the fence and robbing you, I guess. These are all empty crates, huh? All right. Well, we can get in here. Man, we're in a little time crunch. We only have 30 minutes. Do I have a flashlight on me? I do. We would like to get to tool storage. If we can find tool storage, that would be amazing. I just thought all of this was locked up. Decayed zombie, looks like miscellaneous metal pieces that we're not going to carry with us. I've never explored one of these locations, so I don't actually know. I don't know where anything is. So let's just start checking doors, I guess. Empty. Looks like a garage bay. Looks like a break room. I mean, I guess there could be some value. I was going to say like meat products, but here this cheeseburger is rotten, unfortunately. Can of beer, sure. Why not? Meat jerky. Yeah, I don't know. Neighbor went on camping trip. Oh, hello, overweight zombie. I did not see you there. You should be easy to kite just walking, honestly. I'm glad you didn't hit us because I was not paying attention. Socket wrench, adjustable wrench. The batteries aren't worth it. Chewing gum, passion fruit flavored, of course. Passion fruit. Is there a description for these or does it just say gum? This passion fruit. Oh, it does say passion fruit flavored, so that's nice. And then I guess we'll take the long sleeve shirt, maybe is butcherable. Empty rooms. Man, this just empty storage. So what's the point of this location if everything's empty? Obviously it was occupied because there was food left in the break room, and if there's something like a cheeseburger left in the break room, it sort of implies that this was open right up to when society was sort of shut down. So why then are the garage bays empty, the shelving units are empty, the crates are empty? There's a lot of machinery, but that doesn't really do much for me at the moment. So like, why is everything empty? Yeah, so like here we have a full room that contains 5 tiny pieces of copper. Is this just an old location that hasn't been treated very well? Like maybe it's old and has not been updated in a long time? Goosebumps cover your skin. Yeah, so we only have 15 minutes left. I think we're going to bail. And we're just going to head towards extract because I forget how long you can stay out after your warp pulse. I think we haven't done any of those upgrades. So like, I think we melt if we're 15 minutes late. I mean, we're pretty close. Several corpses of college students. Didn't we see? I don't think it was Migo. Maybe it was because we pivoted south then and went this way. I think, if I remember right. And I know we checked out the still. That's this, right? I remember checking out the still and there was nothing there. Yeah, so I don't know why the steel mill appears to be empty. You would think that, like, you would just load this up with low value loot that the player doesn't care about. So, like, a lot of times when people make a location, they say, well, I didn't want to give too much loot to the player. But the reality is that something like metal is very low value to the player. We can harvest that very easily from vehicles. It takes, 10 seconds to smash a vehicle to pieces. And so you could have just loaded this place up with, like, sheet metal, small sheet metal, scrap metal, every kind of metal, steel material that you would be working with in this facility. And to be fair, maybe that's back here somewhere. Maybe there's like a warehouse section that I didn't see. But I was very surprised at how empty that location is. Yes, I see you, tough zombie. I'm really not concerned about you. You're too dumb to go around a fence. So the gasoline is spreading. It looks like it doesn't explode. And this is going to lag the crap out of this game, by the way, if we stay here, because it's all going to catch fire in a huge trail here. So that's fun, but at least we caused a little chaos, I guess. Oh, yeah, so I thought I would record today since it'll be nice and quiet. It's actually my night off tonight. Very, very excited about that. I've been having such a hard time going to work, thinking about quitting my job almost every day. And it's just nice to have a night off where I don't have to think about how much I hate my life. So we're, why not record? I'm going to go get some wings after this, grab myself a nice cold coffee drink, and just settle in for the evening. But I thought, why not record? So there we see a Kraken. That's on my list of things I want to expand as well. Someone made an issue saying, like, hey, Kraken are almost never, like, they don't do anything in this. So basically, if you don't know, this character is just like a black-skinned creature that, like, twitches its hands a lot. Actually, we can read the description. This is some form of eldritch monstrosity, an uncouth black being with smooth, oily skin and unpleasant horns that curve inward toward each other. I believe toward and towards is both spellings are acceptable, but generally you should be consistent with the other one, so I'd have to look in the game. I thought we used towards instead of toward, but I don't know. Tall and thin. Sorry, do people get annoyed with the grammar critiques, by the way? Does that bother you when I interrupt the description? Let me know in the comments, basically. Tall and thin, the shadows cling unnaturally to its vaguely defined humanoid form as it shuffles along, its hands twitching and spasming so rapidly as to appear a little more than a black blur of claws. Despite the night terror-esque appearance, it doesn't appear aggressive. Yeah, so someone made an issue and they were like, hey, Kraken exist. They're very basic. We treat them like civilians, basically. They don't attack the player. They don't really attack anything unless they are attacked first. I believe their stats are actually quite good, so if I went over and punched this guy, he could do quite a lot of damage to me. Or it could do. I don't know that they have a defined, like, sex or gender. I have no idea. But someone was like, yeah, these could use a little love. So one of the things I wanted to do was add, like, a like not necessarily a female per se, but like a version of the Kraken that is carrying its young. So one of the things was, like, I wanted it to be like carrying it like a baby on its back, essentially just this little blue little black like oily skinned monstrosity from the nether or wherever it's from. And then if you were to fight the Kraken or the Kraken were to die, then the little blurry, monstrous child creature would zip away with like a million speed, basically, and basically have fear triggers, so it was afraid of everything. I thought that would be interesting just to add a little bit more of a dynamic element to that. This is why we stopped, by the way. They tend to have a lot of meat products at these picnic tables, so we got some smoked meat there. What kind of condition are these vehicles in? We might want to make a note here. Oh man, large storage battery. There's no way we could carry we can't even take it out of the vehicle, let alone carry it with us. Why does this have a motorbike wheel? What is this? An electric tandem 3-wheeled super compact car. Okay, so I'm assuming it has 3 motorbike wheels. No, it has 2 regular wheels and a motorbike wheel up front. Okay, well, that's weird, but whatever floats your boat. So this looks drivable. Oh no, I mean, I guess it is drivable, but it doesn't have solar panels or anything, so it's just confined to whatever battery charge it has. Now that said, it has 6% battery in 2 large storage batteries, so that's quite a lot. It's 1200 charge. Actually, I can't do math. Sorry, that's, what is 6%? That's 600 charge. No, wait, I can't do math. 6%? No, that's right. No, that would be 5,000. 50,000 would be 3,000. So it's 6,000 charged. Anyway, the point is there's plenty of power here if we wanted to take this. Obviously, it's not ideal for running things over, but we could zip around in this little car. So let's make a note on the map here, just in case we come back to this area. We'll just put working vehicle. Maybe I missed something about it that makes it not working, but it looks, fine to me. I'm a little out of practice with the quick glances. Let's have a look at the other vehicle as well, just to see. It's a bigger one. Okay, so we have, unfortunately, 2 draining batteries, so that's not going to be very useful, but again, 17% of that 50,000 is quite a lot of battery charge that we could use if we had to. Looks like it has enough wheels, gas, engine, etc. So let's have a look at the seat. See if we have a controls and seat. So we do. So this would be drivable as well. So we'll leave that note on the screen there. I don't see anything that would make this not drivable. So that's good. But what I'm really after is the stuff inside, because this looks like a nice little RV style. Actually, what is this vehicle? It's a food truck. Okay, that's kind of awesome. So we would love to take the fridge or freezer out of this. There's just no way we can transport it back to base because our hands are full. I even would consider dumping the dory for that because we could work up to building another spear, but we can't work up to building a mini freezer. That would take us many, many episodes. Let's look for that item that lets us take the whole room with us, because we do have a sizable amount of loot. I think it would be a bit of a waste to do this. What is this called? Vortex token? Return obelisk. The obelisk is you will drag the entire contents of your room with you back to your island. Unfortunately, takes 15 warp shards. That's not going to work for me. Can we fit the can we fit the dory inside the mini freezer? I would imagine no. Let's try. You put your dory in the food truck's mini freezer. Really? Okay, well, let's take everything out of it because I'm not sure what gets destroyed when you do this. It's food, place food. Of course it is. So we'll take that and we'll take the fruit juice, which is frozen. Oh, is that why it's draining? Is this currently on? That can't be why, right? Turn off fridge, turn off freezer. How about that? So they are currently functional. You take control. So it wasn't on. The food truck engine starts up. So that's why it's draining batteries. So this is actually, in fact, let's turn them off just in case we come back this way in the future. We want to maintain as much battery charge as we can in this. Actually, no, draining means it's leaking, so there's still going to be a leaking, right? Examine vehicle. Yeah, they're still leaking, unfortunately, so that actually is not going to change anything. But we are going to grab basically all this stuff. In fact, let's eat while we're down here. What do we have that's... Okay, the meat jerky is getting old. I mean, it has 3... It doesn't matter, just eat it. We'll eat some potato chips, and we'll eat a PB&J. So that's a little bit of extra calories in our body there. Check this. What do we got? Mayo, pork sticks, absolutely. And a hard chest guard actually would be pretty good as well if we weren't already wearing a Kevlar vest. This is actually arguably, it's better for anti-melee. So like in the early game when the zombies are smacking and biting you and things like that, you don't have to worry too much about being shot. This is actually a decent piece of armor, I believe. It has 10 bash protection, 6 cut. I imagine our Kevlar vest doesn't have that much, at least the cut protection would not be that much. So let's have a look here. I can't read this for some reason. My brain is not working. Yeah, it looks like very low bash protection. It looks like it's mostly Kevlar, of course, so it would be primarily ballistic protection. Can't you see this in the layer menu? Where it's, oh, I should turn achievements back on. I forgot about that. Yeah, can't you see from this menu a list of your protection by pieces? Coverage 90%. Yeah, so the bash protection here, the best is 4. Obviously, that's about half of what the other one is. I'm surprised its cut protection is that good, 6.2, but I'm assuming that's not the entire coverage of the garment. That's probably like not the average amount. But anyway, it's a nice little piece to have here. So the reason I took this stuff out of the freezer is because I think if you convert it from construction, you can't Oh, right, it's a vehicle. We have to take the part off. So what does that require? I might not have the tool. Mechanics too. Come on, man. That sucks. So we're not getting a mini freezer. Oh, that's such a bummer. Okay, well, this is why we need to do more skill grinding. We haven't been doing that. We've been doing all this like exploration and almost no skill grinding. That sucks. If we had found this at the beginning of the expedition, we would have had plenty of time. We could have shifted the like the materials around and maybe placed some vehicle constructions, and it takes a minute to start a vehicle, but to add like a wooden frame does take longer than that. So, and to make the wooden frame, of course, is going to take a long time. So if we go to frame, it takes 24 minutes. Yeah, so we wouldn't have been able to really grind that out. Oh, that's such a bummer, man. Would have been nice to get a mini freezer. All right, well, let's check the seat here and then be on our way. Oh, what's this? Pipes and steel chains. No, we don't need that really. We're not going to read 4 things, but we'll look at one of the flyers. Illustrated poster for a brand of solar car. The vehicle is driving through a lush countryside. Countryside is one word. As small animals look on, the slogan, "Improving the world one tank at a time," is written across the top. Someone used a blue pen to write "Who gives a shit" across the slogan and put X's over the eyes of all the animals. Yeah, just dumb. Vandalism for no reason. Support the countries that support yours. President, earlier today in an let's do newscaster voice. Earlier today, in an unexpected and unpopular decision, the president suggested the possible institution of a peacetime draft in response to increasing Chinese aggression towards Taiwan and the Philippines. God, I'm not a newscaster. We must pray for the best while preparing for the worst. We cannot abandon key allies in the face of Chinese bullying. So a little anti-China propaganda sounds about right compared to real-life politics. America loves to hate on China. I mean, not that, like, don't get me wrong, I have some issues with, well, actually a lot of issues with the Chinese government, but, you know, that's not the place to discuss that, I suppose. The point was that fits perfectly with the setting of the game, because American politicians are always saying things like that. So, got a couple Grakens. Yeah, I would like to expand Grakens. Someone suggested making a militarized version, like these are the civilians, and then let's add one that's like, did we check these carcasses? I think we looked at them and they didn't have anything we wanted. Someone suggested like add a militarized version, so like we have the civilian version, let's add one that's like a monstrous, you know, guy with a sword coming out of his arm or something. But we sort of decided like, hey, we're probably not going to give them weapons. We kind of like that they're just sort of civilians. So I thought, well, let's, you know, why not work on one that's like the family version, right? We could have them spawn kind of in a group. We could have the young creature, you know, if the Graken parent were to die, it could sprint away very rapidly, that sort of thing. Just add a little extra character to them, basically. Let's, okay, so sifting through our stuff is not great. It's never the fun part. In fact, it's like the worst part of these episodes. We're at about 31 minutes, probably 28, 29 after editing, so let's just call it here, and in the next episode, hopefully I will sift through this off camera. It's very boring. I hate doing things off camera because it's like I'm spending time without getting any like visual like reward of actually making the content, but that's probably the best way to do this to save people some grief. So yeah, we will resume in the next episode where we will sift through our stuff. We will head back to the Sky Island. It is only 11:30 in the morning, so we probably should head back out on another expedition. But as we just saw, it would be nice to have a little bit higher skills when we do that. I also think we should dump the dory and take like a quarterstaff instead. That way we're not constantly, like, obviously kiting is a huge benefit, but I think we want to be able to carry back fridges and freezers and stuff for our base, and we can't really do that when we have a 3-foot spear in our hands. You know, that requires both of our hands. So, alright, but those are all problems for next time. It looks like we put some food in our alpha container. That's kind of amusing. Why can't I toggle this open? Okay. So I have no idea what's in there. That's fine. Okay. Everyone, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'll be back in the future with more content. I'll see you next time.